traditionally, of course, when you sang these stories, everybody came because it was for the whole village. And so when the story was being sung, there were little kids still being held in their mother's arms. There were kids running around who were 4, 5, 6. There were teenagers, there were adults, and there were lots of grandparents. And so it's the skill of the storyteller to make sure that there's something for everybody in the story. And I've tried very hard to keep that so that this is genuinely a story for families. And to give an example, there's a huge boar who's said to be 60 feet high. He's huge. And he talks, and he comes in and threatens the farmer family. So kids like this boar, and they say, oh, he's so big, he's so amazing, and he talks. But when adults see it, especially if they know something about epics, they're going to say, ah, yes, now this is a, you know, an animal antagonist, this is some kind of devil or challenger. And if you know the Mahabharata or the Ramayana, you'll also see in the boar, you'll see Vishnu's incarnation as Varaha. And if you know the Mahabharata, you'll remember that Arjuna is challenged when Lord Shiva sends a boar and they have a contest over who can shoot that boar with an arrow. So it's very interesting to think about who the boar represents in this story. And I think the answer is, again, it's multivalent. The boar is many things. And you can read into the activities of the boar from your own story background and your own understandings. What kind of character he is.
And I remember you mentioning the female characters in this story and how they play such an important role as well.
Oh, they're wonderful.
I think as an adult that would spark my interest, and
Absolutely.
as a woman.
and you know, smaller girls as well. And in fact, when the boar is finally defeated, who defeats the boar? It's a tiny little female dog. She's said to be the size of one fist. And she is the one who brings the poor boar to his knees. So, you know, even there, kids may just see the fun of a little dog who's the pet of the princess. But adults will see larger, you know, issues there about male-female struggle.
Well, I think what's great about this is, again, that it comes in the packaging of an animated tale. So this is a great time for you to sit down with your family, share this with your children, and you're sharing something about your own culture. And I think as a parent, you're looking for teachable moments for your children as well, and this epic I know has so many of them, whether it be about relationships or the cultural aspects, or even if you want to tie in the religious figures as well. There's so much to take away from it and to gain from this story. So much so that you're bringing it to schools.
Yes, yes.
So tell me a little bit about your work in schools and classrooms.
Well, I found a wonderful teacher who wanted to teach the story over an entire semester in his 6th grade classroom.
And what school is this?
It's called Satya Sai School. It's in Markham here in Toronto. And he is such a wonderful teacher. He is able to watch an episode without ever having seen it before and draw out in discussion with his students all kinds of useful and educational points, helping the kids to understand some of the ethical issues. Well, should the king have done that? Was this the right thing for the queen? And, you know, and he gets the kids to discuss these. And through that, the kids have had a lot of new insights. He's also able to link it to modern day and some of the issues that we have today. Like there's quite a bit of out-migration, there's orphans, there's famine, there's all kinds of social issues, bullying would be another one, that are very relevant today, including suicide. So he's able, whenever that comes up in the story, to say, now think about today. And I think it's a very helpful way for students to think about modern problems, because sometimes if you project into the past or you think of a story in the past, it's a little easier to talk about. You don't have to talk about your own feelings. Let's say you're being bullied. If you talk about how a character in this story was bullied in the Middle Ages, you can get out some of those feelings and analyze it and think about what should have been done differently in a relatively neutral but yet, you know, very real story scenario.